Alright guys, bit of a weird one. I'm just going to turn my fan off because it's warm and it's loud on the camera. Anyway, about 6 hours, in fact more than that actually, probably about 7 hours ago now, I was using the PC and I think I turned it on, and about 20 minutes after I started getting blocks on the screen. What do you call it? Fractalizing or something. I've forgotten the name of it now. Anyway, there was something going on with the graphics card. Now the graphics card in it is a 1050 Ti. It's one of those ones where you just stick on the PCI port. I think, is it a 70 watt one, a 72 watt or something? You just put it on the PCI Express. You don't need to have any additional power to it. It just runs purposely off the motherboard. Anyway, I turned the PC on, and I was using it for about 20 minutes, and then suddenly I started getting sort of fractalized graphics, you know, like red boxes, and then the machine just crashed. So I thought, alright, maybe it's just a loose connection inside. Anyway, I opened it up, took the graphics card out, put it back in. It was dead. The machine was totally dead. You'd get the power lights and all that kind of stuff, but the keyboard wasn't lit up. None of the USB bits and pieces were powering on. It was just basically dead. I'd turn it on, the screens wouldn't power on. So I just thought, oh, well, what do I do next? I don't know. I was just sort of panicking a little bit. So I took the graphics card out, checked the motherboard, made sure everything was plugged in, nothing had come loose, like the memory sticks and all that. Took the memory sticks out, put them all in swapped them around and stuff. Still nothing. Took the graphics card out, dismantled it, put new thermal paste on the heatsink with a heat spreader, you know, an applicator type of thing, and put it back in and turned it on, and it was nothing. It was still dead. The only thing I'd get right, if I waited on a little bit, was this screen would come on like there was power to the screen, but there was usually what happens is when you turn the PC on, you'd get a cursor, blinking cursor. He wasn't even getting that, and the keyboard would not be responsive, other than it looked like the BIOS was going, because you can usually tell by doing that it's active with the motherboard. So I thought, what am I going to do here now? I was sort of panicking, because it wasn't long ago since I replaced the motherboard, because the motherboard decided to pull a wobbler on me and say goodbye. So I had to buy another motherboard. I just bought the exact same one because I didn't want to mess around with all the drivers. Anyway, I checked the graphics card over. I'd done the thermal paste and everything. I checked all the motherboards, checked the wiring, disconnected the wirings, and still nothing. So I thought, oh crap! I'm gonna have to start looking for another graphics card for this machine. So I decided, well, what do I do now? And then I remembered that I've got an old PC upstairs. I've had this one just before the lockdowns occurred. I bought the PC in the Christmas time, just before all this lockdown crap began. Anyway, I built another PC, so I was using that for my design work and my programming and stuff. So I remembered that I had a GTX 660 in it. So I pulled it from upstairs. Took the graphics card out, put it in this, switched on, it worked. It powered on. So I thought, just out of curiosity, I'll swap the graphics cards over again and put my other one back in, and lo and behold, as you can see, it's running. But the one thing I want to ask is, anyone ever come across that issue where I don't know whether or not it's the graphics card that's an issue, or whether or not it's the PCI Express 16 slot. Is it something to do with power? Is it something to do with the way, whoops, something to do with the graphics card, how it protects itself. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, because I unplugged it all, reset the BIOS, took the battery out, replaced the battery, powered it all up, still nothing. And then once I actually changed the graphics card, powered it up, it came on, which was a bit of a strange one. Oh, and also, because I've got a 2600, just a basic one, a Ryzen 2600, and that one doesn't have onboard graphics, so I couldn't test the graphics card out on it. So, but when I actually unplugged the graphics card, the machine would power on, but you couldn't test it until I put the graphics card back in, and then it would obviously do the same thing again. It would mess up the system. So once I actually changed the graphics card, it powered up. I'm still scratching my head with that one, but I took the graphics card out again and put the original one back in, turned it on, it powered up, not a problem. It's as if there's some form of protection on it, so it don't damage it. Am I right or am I wrong? Is anyone who listens to this video and understands what I'm saying, drop a line, because I'm sort of scratching my head with that one. The main thing of what I do ask is there any way, apart from I could test the power supply, where I don't think it's a power supply, it's a Thermaltake 600 watt gold, not platinum, yeah, it's a gold video, a hard power supply, sorry. I'd only just done minor updates to the system about a good couple of months ago, so it shouldn't really make any effect. Just wondering whether or not I'd ever come across that with a graphics card issue. Anyway, comments in the description below. I'll drop some information in the postings. Anyway, thanks for listening if you listen, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.